They definitely are. So it's like to have that, to see that, and like it's heavy hitting, bro. Like.
Hey, what's up, GoreAphobe here? I'm here with King Gore, Corey. I wanted to talk to you for quite a while, man. I've been really looking forward to it, and I noticed I was checking out some of your shit, and I noticed that you like Last House, and not many people, if they do like it, they won't admit it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that do, and they go, "Oh, it's a horrible acting." And all it's like, how can it be horrible acting? Have the shit in here is real reactions. I mean, the chick was terrified. So if that's terrible acting, then I guess
I don't want to be right if that's wrong, my friend. So hell yeah, first time coming onto the channel. I caught one of your watch alongs really got me. I sat down and watched a movie. I can't remember the movie, but it was a lot of fun. Do you remember?
Zombie. It was Zombie or
ooh, it was New York Ripper.
Okay, yeah.
New York
Ripper.
I had a great time. Yeah, that was a fun time. So, Last House on the Left. I just watched Last House on the Left just now.
Yeah, I checked it out.
Dude, I fucking love that movie. It just like this particular watch was such a good watch for me. It was the first thing I did in the morning on a Sunday. Hallelujah.
That's all the wake up call.
Yeah, dude, it hits, bro. Like from beginning to end, I love that movie. I've always loved it. And yeah, I'll talk about it for sure.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about how it's silly and it's got all this goofiness to it, and people can't act. And to me, all that shit they're complaining about is shit that I like about it. Like I love how those the goofy music in between. I love how you got the fumbling cops from like smoking a bandit and all that, and creating very crazy Larry.
See, that's what it is. That's an element that I think gets lost in a lot of people. Is like it's taking something that was already prevalent in that era's like of movies and shit, where it was like you'd have a cutaway scene with some characters that are just buffoons, and you know what I mean? But it could be in like an action movie, but now it's in a fucking horror, and it's not just a horror, it's a fucking rape revenge type horror, basically. That at the time there weren't a lot of like examples out there.
Right.
Man, dude.
I did a bit about a year and a half ago, and just a little short, like 5-minute one, and I think it's something I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I basically describe this kind of movie as a gut punch show. And it's which means it just catches you right there in the gut, what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, but as popular as it is, and as well as the Arrow sold, more people than us has got to like this film. I just think it's a lot of people that don't like it.
I think a lot of people with especially the Arrow set, like people just buy it to say I have it in the collection and I've seen it and I have an opinion and here it is. Here's the proof I bought it. So
that's true.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times physical media has a way of influencing people to have an opinion on something that they probably weren't ready to see. You know what I mean? Like they saw it was Wes Craven. They love Nightmare on Elm Street. They go see Last House on the Left, and they're just like, well, I don't get it. This doesn't live up to the expectations of a Wes Craven. Not my favorite, but I can see why it was such a big hit for its time. I hear that all the time, and it's okay, but it's not. I don't want to say wrong opinions, dude, but like Last House on the Left is just, it's perfect, dude. Like, and I want to talk about the cops real quick because that's something that really stuck out to me when they're harassing the two victims in the woods. I forget their names. I'm horrible with names. I think Sally, probably not.
Mary and Phyllis.
Yeah, there you go. I just got a text. Let me turn down my notifications. There we go. And yeah, and it's there's no music. No. I don't know how they did it. There might be no music, but I know that whenever the cops are on screen, it's like dang, 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 or some shit. They have some weird little like banjo song playing, and it's, to me, it's like real life, bro. It's like everyday life. Think about it, like if you're just out there with a coworker on a job, and like just think of how fucking mundane and like off, weird, awkward life really is, you know? And it's like if you took away the banjo music, the goofy sounding music that's playing over top of it, then I think it's just fine. I don't think people would have the same, it would have the same effect, you know? But I think a lot of what influences people in those scenes is the music, because otherwise it's just, it's showing the juxtaposition of, or it's comparing like these two worlds that are literally separated by just trees, like maybe a mile or two, possibly feet. It's just happening in the same community. Like these people are just having this regular ass life, and guess what? That's your law enforcement too. But if you don't think police officers and sheriffs aren't out here like having these like goofy interactions with people and their coworkers, they definitely are. So it's like, to have that, to see that, and like it's just, it's heavy hitting, bro. Like people have done it many times.
The 70s. What do you think it was about the 70s? Smoking the Bandit, Dukes of Hazzard, and all that really poked fun and made them look like bumbling idiots. I mean, they didn't make it a part of life. They made it to where all cops were like that.
You see, and nowadays, if they tried to sit here and make a shot-for-shot remake of Last House on the Left, they would make the cops wouldn't be depicted that way. The cops would be assholes, and they would be painted as like the bad guy, where in this one they technically are, they're the good guys. They are the good guys. They're human. They're not super true and blue and macho fucking guys, but they're not also fucking, villains and nasty fucking people. They're just people that exist that happen to be cops. So it's like it's brilliant. I love the fucking it's just a real ass movie, dude. It's really good.
I love how the deputy is the sensei from Karate Kid, Martin Cove.
Say it one more time.
The cops, the deputy, the younger one, the one that didn't get the gas in the car, gets that's the sensei from Karate Kid.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Holy shit! Love that guy looks different in that movie, man. It's just, I think it's the hair. The hair really, like, he has one of those faces. There's a lot going on in his face. So, like, you change his hairstyle, he becomes a totally different person. But yeah, it's him.
They wanted him to play Groot. They wanted him to play the main bad guy. The one that the one played by David Hess. They wanted him to do that. And he's like, no, but I do know a guy that's brooding, and he looks like a total brute. And it was his brother-in-law. So he brought Hess in, and Hess had freaked out. He was wearing 3 or 4 splitters, so he looked bigger because he's not a big guy. They brought him in about he got $2 from the trial for it. And he was like, fuck this. He says like 110 degrees, and he fucking just jumped out of the taxi and ran to the place and said, all right, I'm fucking here. What do you want? All right. And it was like, you got the job.
See, it's perfect, dude. I didn't know that. Shit. Like David Hess is like podcast. Say it one more time.
He looks like a guy that would do that. I mean, he's like somebody.
Exactly. Bro, I heard somebody the other day. They said some shit. They said some shit about like, oh, it's you got to be careful around these buff, brooding, like super muscular guys. They're the type to be serial killers that can get away with it. I think it was somebody said it on YouTube. They were joking and shit, but I'm like, honestly, David Hess is more. It's more the average guy that might have maybe some kind of psychological advantage or a like height advantage type shit. David Hess is like the perfect like villain in these types of movies.
His face, even if he can act, and he's actually a good musician too. He does most of the score, but yeah, even if he couldn't act, with that face and just with the demeanor, he looks like someone that's like, no, I'm not leaving my kids here. I don't think so. No, I'm finding somebody else. And unfortunately, we go by the stereotype a lot. We like if David Hess come in and said, all right, I'm the babysitter. I mean, would you be in a big hurry to run off to work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think. Do you think that roles like Last House on the Left and what followed stunted his career, or do you think he just like was comfortable? Because me personally, I haven't done a lot of background research on David Hess, but that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it did. It's stereotyped him because everything you've seen, like let me see, House at the Edge of the Park, or I can't remember. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that like next. I've seen it maybe twice. But this inspired me to throw it on right after this.
It's the same thing. Even that little role he plays in Swamp Thing, he's pretty much basically Krug. It just doesn't have a lot of him in it. Remember, because he's when his arm ripped off by the Swamp Thing. He's got the machete in his hand.
There you go.
That's directed by Wes Craven also, and he wanted him to be like Krug, so he gave him a machete, just like he had, you know what I mean, that he chopped his arm off with. So he was basically making him be Krug again. So that's basically, I think he would have. Acting was a passion for him, but music was his love.
He's a good dude, man. I love him. And you've seen Body Count?
Yeah, long time ago. Yeah, he's also the Hitchhiker too.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's crazy in House on the Edge of the Park, dude. I definitely remember that one.
But if you talk to him, he had a blast. He loved making these roles.
Like, dude. Like if you watch him, he's just being over the top. He's doing his thing, bro. He's just in the moment, living in the moment, and that's the shit I love.
Like during the assault scene with Sarah Cassell, the one that played Mary Collingwood, when she was down there, he got down there and everything. He had fucked with her so hard, and he had stayed character the whole time, and she was so terrified. He looked up at Wes Craven and said, "Can I?" And I just Sarah Cassell was like, oh. She was, because back then a lot of snuff films were being made. And Wes Craven and Sean Cunningham weren't known. So she really didn't know who in the hell she was going with. And there they are dragging him off to the middle of the woods, because they basically shot in the woods behind Sean Cunningham's parents' house.
Yeah.
So she didn't know where she was going. So when she got out there, you know what I mean? And there's David Hess walking around like Krug the whole time.
It's a perfect storm, dude. Like, and it's literal exploitation. They exploited the fear and the circumstance of it all, but they were totally safe. But it's like
she didn't know that though. She was fucking like it stunned. Like she didn't do much after, man. She was just like, all of a sudden her passion for acting dwindled quite a bit. She was like, because she thought she stated one time she literally thought that this might actually be one of those snuff films she'd heard about. Like she wasn't gonna make that out alive.
No offense, and it's fucked up, but at the same time, dude, you can't read people's minds. Like, right. You thought it was a snuff film, but it obviously wasn't a snuff film, and you didn't die. So it's like,
get over it. Yeah,
it's life, dude, and it's like it's a movie. You got paid for it, right? And like she got paid after it like became popular. Right? Is she alive?
Yeah. As far as I know, she is. She goes by Sandra Cassell or Sandra Peabody.
All right, so you're still getting a check from it. It's not the worst thing to happen to you in the world. Plus, because there had to have been a point where you were like, "Oh, it's not actually a snuff film." And it's like, so get the fuck over it. I'm sorry.
plus, she left at one time, and then they talked her into coming back. So she must not have been too bad because she came all the way back.
Yeah, it's the money, and it's like to complain about it now. Well, she's not complaining about it now, I guess, but you have every right to look back on something that you came up on, like came up with a check on, with some negative memories. That's cool. It's whatever.
But you know, be a part of something, you know, pretty special in film history. You know what I mean? Because this is a landmark film. You know, when was the first time you ever seen it? Do you remember? How old was
you? I saw it.
Yeah.
Shit. The first time I saw Last House on the Left, it was, I mean, late in life, technically. I guess 22 maybe is when I started really noticing that, oh, horror directors did things that I haven't seen before that I should probably check out.
I didn't like the Last House remake though. I thought they completely missed the point, man. I thought
I remember it. They just took it in. It just wasn't. It wasn't good. It's not the same. Like it doesn't have that grit to it. Like they have to. I think wasn't there more of a drug focus? Like they all look like junkies in that one. Whereas
and the characters were kind of weird. One of them, the one that plays basically the weasel part, is his brother. It's not even his friend.
The dynamic right there is already does it for me, because I can believe that the brother would sit here and like tell the other brother to kill himself, but the fucking fact that it's the dad, like the whole fuck, it's just nasty. That is nasty as fuck. That's something that fucked me up just now when watching it. That scene is so fucked up, dude. Because that dude, the son didn't do shit. The son was just being led along and fucking used. Horrible. Amazing.
And you think about the levels of depravity of these people. Like Krug was in prison for the murder of a priest and two nuns. He murdered the priest and then raped and killed the two nuns. And then the guy that played Weasel was some kind of a dirty child molester.
He was like a fucking child molester, dude. Like a fucking piece of shit. And dude,
levels.
Dude. And they exactly, levels, right? It's like and if you to even like draw it to fucking I Spit on Your Grave, like there was no background on these guys. We could assume that at one point or other they were all like nasty fucking like rapists, offenders, but it felt more opportunistic.
They're basically hillbillies who wanted to fuck. Basically, hillbillies who wanted to fuck her.
Yeah, you guys were just like, she was passing through, and you were like, well, let's take this fucking opportunity. Whereas Last House on the Left, these niggas are just roaming around on the run, just happen to meet up. Like they all should be in prison, right? But it's like, nah, they're just like looking for the next lick. Like that's real criminal shit. Like it's horrible.
Like I like, my favorite part of Last House on the Left, the original 1972 Last House on the Left, is where it shows the real humanity in him. And I'm sure you just noticed it and seen it right there. After he assaults Mary, and she gets up and she takes off her and they look, and they kind of, there's one moment in there where they look at each other like, we really are garbage, aren't we? We really are.
Yes, and that's what it is. It's like it's like we're really bad people. We're the worst. If there's a hell, we're going there. Like, absolutely, we deserve to die. We deserve to be killed. Like, but this is our life. This is our life, and we got to kill her.
Yeah,
like it's hard. Whereas opposed to the friend who is like more like less innocent. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she was the one to sacrifice herself. They recognized that she was the strong one. So they left the weakling to care for what they thought was the weak girl, which, and they didn't feel bad for killing her.
Yeah.
It's a great.
They didn't know that it was across the street from Mary's house, number one. Number two, they didn't know Mary's dad was a doctor that had methadone, and that she could use that on Junior, which was the heroin addict. They didn't know any of that shit. So it's like, and I love how they look at each other and they realize she's been wiping her hands off. She's been wiping her hands off because they're bloody. Yeah. And then that lasts like 1 minute, and then they're like, fuck it. It's just like, you know what I mean? True sociopathic shit.
It's on it's working on a really
that moment
honest, like it's criminal, dude. It's just once you get old and you're an adult, like you recognize all the shit. You've obviously like been paying attention to like the news and shit, and just like criminal psychology. There a day and age where everyone is interested in criminal psychology and shit online. You should be able to watch Last House on the Left and recognize that it's a fucking brilliant movie and commentary on like real life horror, which is what it's all about, is actual horror.
Well, because all these shows, man, like these true crime things you watch, you know, and they're about sociopaths or about Ted Bundy or about just whoever killing people. They never ever
watch that, yeah. You watch the criminal fucking psychology shit, the documentaries on Bundy, but here's all these movies that like drew inspiration from real life, like as the crimes are being reported and shit, and we don't have the FBI created. I'm pretty sure the FBI was created when the serial killer shit, like the 80s, I think, is when they really fully like had an idea of what they're working with. So this movie was made in 72, where motherfuckers, they don't have a fucking name for it. It's just people are out here killing people. Let me do some research real quick.
Have you noticed that in those documentaries they never mention for a minute of how there is a little bit of humanity in there? They just make it sound like that they're just sociopaths and that's it. But you know damn well that here and there. Well, I did see one. I think it was a Ted Bundy biography or something like that. Is talking about how he had said that it's not like he didn't feel any remorse or any guilt for the harm he had done. It just wasn't enough to affect him on the long term.
Oh, Ted Bundy's fucked, and that's such a fucked up mind to see here.
He admitted that he actually did have some remorse here and there. So
that's why it's important to keep these motherfuckers alive, dude. Like that right there is just like such a wild thing to think about, because that man.
They never talk about that though.
Ravaged people.
Oh yeah,
absolutely ravaged people. Like
he wasn't sick; he was sociopathic. But
on an animal scale, disgusting.
I think Dahmer. I think that's how demon possession really happened. Is the way Jeffrey Dahmer was. Jeffrey Dahmer is the epitome of actually being possessed by a demon. It don't happen like on The Exorcist. It happened like that.
Well, dude, the thing that bugged me the fuck out, dog, is I'm in an apartment right now, and it's like you know what I mean? Right. Like to be in a fucking apartment, and it's like your space. It's like your space just becomes like your space, and his environment that he would just be in and he created. It was just there's body parts everywhere. He was just those body parts everywhere, blood stain. Well, it's just the fucking here's my bed. It's like I could not fucking imagine.
You know, neighbor on this side, a neighbor on this side, a neighbor across the hallway.
Yeah. And their homes are fucking normal. Bro, there might be a hoarder across the fucking hall. Who the fuck cares? Like, okay, she got some fucking paper plates stacked up over there. This nigga's got heads just here. He's fucking dead body. Crazy reality. So Last House on the Left, like if we really look at like what the fuck was happening with serial killers, you can look at Last House on the Left and be like, yeah, it's actually pretty realistic, you know?
Because that's when Bundy and them were starting. That's when the original ones that we know of that they talk about all the time now was the early 70s. That's when they were starting. He was still free killing motherfuckers when this movie was made.
Fucking nuts. Think about that, dude.
He was just starting his killing career about the time this was made.
There was no Ted Bundy there was no name to attach like horrible things that you would see in the news to yet, you know.
Maybe Boston Strangler. That's about the only one.
Yeah, that's about the only one. But like around 72 or like 69, it was just horrible. That was just the world's crazy. And now it's like, well, now it's a Ted Bundy like person. It's like you don't see a lot of motherfuckers like becoming that guy, that serial killer. You really got to be a BTK or some shit to have your name, you know, go in history. And even that guy was killing during the fucking what's it called, the 80s and 90s, I'm pretty sure, like, but he got caught in like 2006. I don't remember.
BTK, yeah, something like that, right around the same time as Green River Killer got caught, I think.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a really bad guy.
Bundy got caught in like 80 or so, and then he was on death row until like 89 or some
Yeah.
shit. But
They needed him. Anyway, go back to the.
Why do you think a lot of people that I know damn well are afraid to admit that they like this film, and not because we're all sick weirdos. It's just because it's a well-made film, and we're open-minded enough to know it's just a film, and liking it doesn't make you a deprived person. You know, why do you think a lot of people won't do that? Do you think it's just a weakness of character?
I mean, bro, like we're talking about Last House on the Left here. Like I definitely understand what you're talking. The things that I watch and shit, the things that I make videos on, I get asked that same, or not even asked that. I don't even get the courtesy of being asked, like, why? They just like assume I'm a bad
because they put your face with that movie and they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't match somehow because you look friendly, clean cut guy. You know, they look at me and they go, yeah. They look at me and they go, yeah, I can see that. But that's different.
That's why I jump in head first with the shit, and I try to stay.
How it is, man.
I don't want to put my self on camera doing it all that much. I'd rather like they see the shit, like see what I'm talking about. Because the reality of the shit is, or to bring it all in, like the visuals they don't have to be the worst part of the movie. Right. You know what I mean? No. Like, and I'll talk about a Serbian film real quick. So the horrible scene with the baby, horrible scene through and through, has no place ever in existence, period. Right. But it exists. They depicted it. And the big thing about that movie is they don't really show all that much. They really don't. Like, there are things out there that will sit here and be super edgy and show you everything. Showing something like that is crossing a major fucking line, but it would be talked about 10 times more if you could believe it, if they did, right? So with Last House on the Left and shit, people are just there. I don't know, like it doesn't make you a morally bad person to watch something that was created by somebody else, True. It's not illegal, it's not real, it's fake. So I don't know, you can't just, you got to put things in perspective. Like somebody created it, and you can choose to watch it or you can choose not to watch it. Last House on the Left is like, if you're gonna nitpick about a rape scene in a movie, like there's some horrible rape scenes that take place in dramas or war movies, like you don't have to explain yourself with that type of shit, but because it's a horror movie and it's about something horrible happens to a person and then they get fucking revenge, somehow that gets looped into it. And I understand, like, with I Spit in Your Grave, it's excessive, like, but I mean, shit, they could have shown a dick. They could have put actual porn in it to sell the point, like they did in fucking They Call Her One Eye, Thriller. They could have fucking done that, but they didn't. So get over it. I think
it's the intensity of the criminals. It's the intensity of them and how real they come off, and how Wes Craven shot it in a documentary style almost. Because after that came out, when David Hess talked about how he'd be walking down the sidewalk and people would see him and people recognize him, would go all the way to the other side of the street.
Get the fuck out of there.
Craven, after it came out, would go to like parties with people he went to school with and friends he'd had forever. And he said he could noticeably seeing them keeping their children away from him. Wes Craven told that story. I was like, you got to be fucked. And really, when you come right down to it, society has not come that much further since then, in my opinion.
It really has not. No, it hasn't. But at the same time, look at so if you talk about Last House on the Left, I Spit in Your Grave, a Serbian film, Irreversible, these movies that have to do with sexual assault, graphic sexual assault in many cases. Okay, Irreversible. I could, shit, and there's plenty of other. I could think of 50 other movies that are just as bad. So I could make a video on each of those. That's 4 movies. Am I going to make videos on all 50 other horrible rape movies or whatever? No, because not all those movies are good. A lot of those movies are made for the wrong reason. A lot of those movies are ripoffs of good movies that touch on that subject and do that shit. And
Just
there's no, there's no point. Like I don't like seeing rape, but I do like a good like revenge story, and sometimes that does happen. And fuck, I think I got lost there. What was your question? Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I just talked about how they had switched sides of the street and all that, and how society hadn't.
There you go. Yeah. And so like you could make 4 reviews on good movies about that is talking about that, or you could have like 30 or 40 cases that just talk about like these criminals, like real life criminals, not even serial killers. Like crime commentary channels where that take modern cases of people that maybe didn't even get a fucking heavy enough sentence, or maybe they got off, and we're talking about these cases where motherfuckers get away with fucking, raping and murdering a kid or raping and murdering a woman, they get like 20 years before they get the fucking possibility of parole.
Yeah.
No, I want to see, where's the fucking part of the video where they cut the guy's fucking head off?
Right.
Where's that? Well, we don't get that. So I think we are much healthier with these types of horror movies, because if we pay attention to the actual news, we're going to want to kill somebody. So let's be real about it. Let's be real about it, for real.
One thing if you notice with this movie, but something I noticed this time I really thought about before was how they go from the girls leave and they're getting ready to go to this concert.
Yeah.
They go and they end up, like they're walking on the street there, and Mary's going, "Oh, you just see, it's really dirty. You see the dirt, so you can see
the dirt." Yeah.
And then when you go into their apartment, it's this hole in the wall, shitty place.
Yeah, it's still dirty.
They take them. They do it
like outside.
Yeah, they have their way with the girls, all this kind of stuff. And then when the car's overheated and it's pretty much a little rot or whatever, they end up going to her parents' house. So they end up going from their territory, their turf, and then they end up on her turf.
Yeah,
and that's when they're fucked.
They can't hold it together. They can't hold it together because it's not their fucking environment. They're so out of place, but they tried to. That's another thing I loved watching it back was how dreamlike the dinner was with all of them. Because like
they're looking at them going, these people are just below standard. You know what I mean? And they feel so low with this doctor and his wife. They don't feel like they feel so inadequate.
They don't have anything to offer. They don't offer anything to society. These are people that do offer things to society, and you don't possibly understand what it's like. I love that they didn't have a whole bunch of shit in their house. Like they had realistic shit in their house. It wasn't like they were like decked out with a beautiful fucking chandelier and paintings all on the wall and just expensive gore. They just look like they worked hard all their life. They're fucking old, nigga. Like they're fucking 45, 50 years old, 55 years old, where they worked for that.
Right.
So they of all people did not deserve this to happen. So it's such a good movie.
Yeah, they let these people in there, and then they feel they're just completely inadequate from the time they walk in. They're bitching about, a fork for every pea on the plate, and then they're bitching and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And it pisses them off. It makes them want to hurt these people too. So something else I noticed is this dumbass. They're supposed to be such seasoned criminals that this dumbass weasel before the doctor, the wife lets him in, she goes to get the doctor, and while they're gone, this dumbass comes over for some stupid ass reason, cuts the goddamn TV cord. You don't think a motherfucker's gonna notice that right away? I'm gonna be like, why ain't my TV working? Okay, why is my cord cut? You're the only people here that weren't here fucking before. I know my wife didn't cut it. That's like some obvious shit. It's like, you dumb fuck. You're supposed to be such a seasoned criminal.
I love that they expect it, and that's the thing, bro. Like these people that are doing well in life, you know what I'm saying? Like they got the home that they worked their whole fucking life. They're just out there chilling. They're not bad fucking people. especially if they're just out the way, bro. Like they're not bad people, bro. They want to be left the fuck alone. They want good vibes. They're just trying to like they're gonna be good to you unless you're like going to fucking ruin what they worked for by like fucking cutting my cords and shit, right? It's like, yeah, for them to just assume that they're bad. But I mean, they put two and two together eventually. They're shitty.
It's just all about jealousy. I think. I think they were jealous of them, and they were good enough. They felt sorry for them, so they let him in. And then they start to notice that Junior's hollering, and they could tell he was sick. I mean, this guy worked with addicts, so yeah. I mean, he spotted that shit.
He spotted it so quick. I love that movie, dude. It's such a good movie, dude.
The bandage on their head. They're like, these people sell what? Because they sell something. They sell something else, and it was like, okay, which is it? Well, we sell insurance to toilet companies. Yeah. It's like that amount of time I'd have been like, well, maybe we should call you or something.
That's interesting because that sounds like some bullshit.
Like if you just walk that way for about 2 hours, you'll get to town.
Yeah, right. Exactly, bro. You can take your ass on, dude. We're fucking selling toilet. Well, I don't have a toilet, sir.
Yeah.
Close the fucking door.
By the time all that shit happened, I seen a bandage on her head. I'd have been like, well, hope you guys enjoyed dinner. Hopefully we've helped you. If you walk that way for a couple hours, you'll get to town. There'll be something on the right. Good luck. Because sleeping in my fucking house.
Right about now is the time you need to fuck off. Me and the missus got to go to bed.
Because it was obvious.
And the moment you give me any kind of pushback, I'm gonna be like, listen here, bitch. I don't know what the fuck you thought this was, but we can just go ahead and cut this chit chat now. If you'd like to throw some hands, actually, fuck all that, all the throwing of the hands. Let me go come back with my fucking shotgun. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Dude. Something else I hear people talk about is, it's unrealistic that the mother was able to take out Sadie, was able to whoop her ass and jump and
That's exactly what I was gonna get to, dude. Nah, best
I don't
fucking
think so.
scene in the movie.
That's her mom.
Yeah, exactly. That's the mom. And dude, like the part that I fucking loved is like the choice to not have a cut of her running up to her, but to just show how this mom naturally runs was it's the funniest shit ever. But it's like, yo, that's dead ass exactly how a mom would like, because she's not like in shape. She's not some like athlete, bruh. There's just the urge to like, all right, they told this woman, all right, this person fucking raped and killed your daughter. Think of that. Kill this bitch. She just, with her mom run over there. Like she like lightly jogged over and she's like, fucking bitch. And just went at her. I'm like, dude, best fucking scene. It really hit the last time I watched it. Best scene ever, dude.
Yeah, it's like they're supposed to be so streetwise. As soon as that shit went off, man, that scene was like,
that's the thing.
Like, he did it, and then she took off.
They only go after weak people. They go after weak young people. They went after like the kid and the young teen girl and the fucking the priest and the nun who aren't expecting this shit. Bro, you thought we were what? We're soft just because we fucking worked for our fucking shit? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like she was not fucking taking that. They fucked with the wrong ones. I love it because it's basically it's a public service announcement for all the fuckheads in the world. Hey, bitch, we're not just gonna sit here and let you fuck with us, bro.
Like the gull on the weasel coming out and trying to fuck his wife when he's giving him a place to stay. He goes out trying to fuck his wife, and she's like, no, let's not go over there. Let's go over here. Oh, I want a man that is able to take me, like with his hand tied behind his back. He's supposed to be so streetwise, and she just played his fucking.
Bro, she bit a dick off and killed that, like beat that bitch, bro. And she wasn't winning the fight the whole time. There was a moment where old girl got on top. What did her dumb ass do? Ran into a pool, bitch. That's what you get, stupid. Sorry to cuss on yourself.
She got scared. She was like, he did it. It was him. And then she took the fuck off.
Fuck you.
And he was like, fuck, what do you mean I did it? Damn.
I get passionate about this movie, dude. My bad.
She took him all the way to the point of orgasm before she bit that motherfucker off too.
Yeah, dude. She worked for that one, dude. Like
she wanted him to get there.
She wanted him to like, yeah. Props to the mom. The mom is the best character in the movie. She's a horror icon. in my eyes.
Yeah.
I think she is like up there. She's above Jamie Lee Curtis, dog. She bit a dick off. I don't care. Jamie didn't bite a dick.
Well, you know how I feel about Jamie these days. I loved her back in the early '80s and late '70s. Since then, I think she's a fucking bitch. I'm done with her. She runs shit.
She ain't the same, bro. She's
I had a
straight
rant
up.
that long on Instagram. I had a rant that long on that motherfucker. I went the fuck off.
Dude, I don't want to fucking talk about that, but she was cool. I guess I don't think she ever was cool though. Like I think she's always been kind of meh. Like, but she's you know, she was a freak body, bro. She had a freak physique. She was a freak athlete, I think. Low key, like I think she had like a body dysmorphia. Like she was probably grew up a little insecure about her long ass fucking neck and narrow ass shoulders, but she had some big titties and some long legs, and she fell in love with the gym. She's in shape, dude. She's an athletic woman.
Well, yeah.
People are gonna hear that and be like, "What the fuck?" It's true though, bro. Like we're being real. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, she was never that good, bro.
She used what made her famous, and then fucking made it her own fucking platform to show that character was so much stronger and make Michael Myers look like such a fucking putz, man. That's exactly what she did.
That's bullshit, dude. Like, yeah, that's like how I had no problem with her for real until this trilogy, because it's like the first time that we as a people we actually got to know like her on a professional scale. You know what I mean? Because social media is here and we see how you're moving. You know, we see how you're moving. We're seeing how people are talking about you who work with you directly. And we see the fucking the product that we got with the I'm sorry, dude, but the fucking Halloween Ends. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he calls me vain, man. It traumatized me. I was like, "What are you fucking talking?" You could tell she wrote that shit herself. Then
she wrote that shit herself. I did my homework. This is bad, dude.
I did my homework on this. I don't leave a rant like that unless I know. I don't talk shit unless I know for sure. You know.
And the moment I knew it was over when she was like, "These are my memoirs." In the beginning, I'm like, okay, it's all about you. Okay, that's what we're doing. Fuck Michael in this one.
That was part of her signing up for it. Was that it ends? You know, it ends with Laurie coming out on top and defeating and completely getting rid of Michael Myers, wiping him the fuck out. And and of course they went along with it because they thought that they had to have her to sell it, which they didn't.
And the thing is, bro, you could wipe Michael the fuck out without making the movie bad.
Without making him hamburger meat, yeah.
Not even that. Like, if you had a fight that led to him, like, being pulled or pushed into the fucking grinder, and you know, like, instead of saying, I fucking hate that movie. I'm so sorry. I don't like the movie.
You wrestled him down and took his mask away from him. You don't wrestle down Michael Myers and take his mask away from him.
It's just, like, I don't give a fuck. Does killing make him stronger, or is it not? Like, they made a rule where killing makes you strong, and they're like acted like he was vegan. Like, are we like he can't fucking, like, he has a killing deficiency. He can't have any killing. But it's like when he does kill, doesn't that make him strong? Like, and wouldn't a refrigerator like not be enough to fucking just cripple this man? Like, it's a fridge.
I could kick that motherfucker in a minute, and I'm damn near 50 years old and out of shape now.
It's a fridge, bro. He's fucking, was it full of...
Michael Myers, I can smash that motherfucker up here, you know? Right. Michael Myers, I could bench that fucker.
I hated the fact that she bled him out. Like, you bled him out.
Talk shit. And she even shit talked to him. I used to think he was the
talking like, you're a punk ass bitch. She didn't say that. But, you know, like, it's goofy as hell. That's how it came off. And anyway.
Looked like a bitch.
Yeah. He went out like a bitch, and I didn't like that. No one liked that.
Ridiculous. I'm a Halloween purist, so I haven't been satisfied since about up to the time they announced the brother-sister thing in the original Halloween 2. I've been unhappy since then.
I grew up with it, so, like, for me, I didn't understand it when I was a little kid, I didn't understand, like, the significance of plot points and stuff like that. But here recently, as I've really started to get older, you know, I've definitely noticed like they shot themselves in the foot. There's a reason why John Carpenter didn't fucking want to be involved with the sequel, because he knew he had four. That's why I like John Carpenter. He at least has foresight. He has foresight to like the shit that he does, and like he's like, all right, you guys want to fuck up this thing? It's cool. I'm gonna go off and make the thing, or fucking literally anything else, and be good.
The story was told, man. That story at the end of Halloween, when Loomis looks out over and he's gone, that's the end of that story. He's gone. Yeah. Why? Because he's a boogeyman. Where is he? Wherever he wants to be.
You ruined the integrity. You ruined the integrity of the slasher fucking genre by making a sequel to not Black Christmas. Sorry, but that's what it is. Oh, nigga, imagine if they had sat here and made a sequel to Black Christmas a couple years after Black Christmas.
It showed Billy's face and shit.
It could have been exactly like fucking Halloween, but not exactly like Halloween. But if it had been like Halloween, where we had 2, 3, or 4 sequels, we would have hated Black Christmas.
Bob Harper's smart enough not to do that. Bob Harper's exactly. Like, no, this is it. It's standalone. Sometimes
since John Carpenter's smart, dude. John's smart.
Imagine how iconic the original Halloween. I mean, the original Halloween movie would be even more iconic, and that ending would be so much more iconic if that had been the only Halloween.
I swear, bro.
The first one.
Or if we had go ahead and give us those sequels that you gave us in 2018. Go ahead and do it. But you wouldn't have so much. I think Jamie Lee Curtis would feel a lot less worn out with Michael Myers and everything if she hadn't fucked up the whole franchise shit. Like, if we could have had a good trilogy here if you hadn't spent 30 years fucking with Jamie Lee Curtis. Now she fucking hates it, and she's old and pissed, tired of it. Yeah. I don't blame her, because I'm tired of it too.
Yeah. I would love one movie. Imagine how iconic the ending would have. People would still be talking about, oh my God, where'd he go? They need to make a sequel now, but they'd just be dying for it. It's funny, people want all these sequels, and then they bitch when they get them. And that's just human nature. I want this. Oh, that sucks, man. I don't like that.
Yeah. No, the thing is, we want another one, but we want to
be good.
We want to make it. We want to fucking be able to make it.
We could, man. We can make some shit. I have always been convinced, man. As a matter of fact, it's a thing I've been talking about for a long time. I don't know if you ever read it, but I put a few posts out. It's something I'm going to release this October. I've already got the story written. It's and it's going to be 2 more parts, and it's going to be my Halloween 2 and 3, and I've already got them written. And what it's going to be is it's kind of a what if. What if Laurie Strode had not survived Halloween 1978? And I'm going to go from there, and it's going to have 2 parts connected to it. I'm going to start about the time when he's chasing her and all that shit. And I'm going to change the ending, and it's going to be a thing where like it's almost like I don't know. It's like I'm telling the story. I'm kind of not narrating it, but I'm doing almost like an audiobook, and I'm going to have pictures and shit to go along with it.
That'd be cool as shit. Yeah, that's fun. I think we need a fucking fresh perspective to things like that. We need to stop being locked in to the notion that we need a character to survive to do a thing. And it's like, because we never know what the fucking right thing is for a slasher character, especially I want to emphasize for slashers, like we
not to make a lot of enemies
by holding on to characters too long, man. That's why Friday the 13th worked.
But if she can put him into Grant Hamburger meat, I can kill her off at the end of Halloween 1970.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Kill her ass off. Stab her through the heart, and then have him get shot 6 times, and then he can run off or whatever. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's going. You know, he's going to disappear just like he did before. Why? Because he's
avoided a lot of shit
everywhere. And then the next Halloween, guess what happened?
If we just killed her. Think of if we had killed Laurie Strode in 1978, the whole notion of the final girl, like, we wouldn't have latched on to the fact that, oh, she was a virgin, and with this, there are the rules, this is what we got to do. Like, it would have been just like, I mean, Friday the 13th would have maybe done it, like, but I don't think there would be a Friday the 13th without Halloween.
Just think how much different it would be with that ending. If she hadn't survived and made it all this thing where it has to be like this, it has to be like that. I love movies that go against that. That's why I love the Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon so much. because it takes it and makes it a real thing. It makes Jason all them as if they were real. I don't know if you've ever seen that film.
I do. I'm actually where is it? It's on my shelf over there somewhere. I should throw that on sometime. I've seen it when it first came out. I didn't understand it because like I was fucking 8 or something like that. I didn't understand what I was watching, and it's not the most violent one. I've always been into like the violent kills and the gore and the kill count and shit. So,
it's creative.
It's creative to me. Yeah, I like when a kill is dynamic and shit. And Leslie Vernon is more. It's it's a smart movie.
It's exactly what I was gonna say. It's smart. It is. Yeah. It's different. It had enough balls to be different.
Yeah, exactly. People didn't understand it at the time. People don't. I don't think we had the right audience. Like right now, we have a good audience of horror people. Where if we like if we really do something cool, people are gonna like admit it, and the ones that are just like against it because it's a slasher or against it because it's violent, we'll obviously be able to see like a clear bias. Like there is a line drawn in the sand of people who like really fucking love their horror, and like it don't fucking matter if you're squeamish or not. If you like horror, then you're gonna like these fucking kills, bro. That's just part of like the advancement of the genre as a whole. Like we've been waiting for shit to look this realistic, bro. Like
definitely. And we got to use CGI, man, because 40 years ago, Rob Bottin was doing the thing. 41 years ago, he did that. I wish he was still going now, man. He became a recluse. He kind of became a GoreAphobic, kind of like I am, and how I used to be real bad about it. That's how he is. That's why he's been gone all this time.
Yeah.
But anyway, get back to this for a couple of minutes, before I let you go, if that's cool.
No, absolutely.
On say a star rating of 5 stars, where would you honestly put Last House on the Left?
Last House on the out of 5 stars?
Yeah,
I think I have it at 5 stars on everything. Actually, this inspired me. I'll let you know now. I'm gonna review. I've never reviewed Last House on the Left. I've never talked about it on either channel outside of like a live stream. I fucking love this movie. It's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. It's a perfect score. It's top 5 horror movies ever made all time, in my opinion.
I knew you did. That's why I wanted to talk to you about
it. It's top 10. It's better than It's Wes Craven's best movie. Period. That's
what I think.
It's right next to Nightmare on Elm Street, and then right there is fucking People Under the Stairs. It's boom, boom, boom. Like the dude's fucking crazy. But yeah,
Hills Have Eyes is a good one, dude.
Wes Craven's incredible, dude. Like it's fucking. Because I haven't seen Serpent in the Rainbow. Is that him?
Yeah.
Too? I haven't seen that one. I don't know how good that one is. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
That's good. It's different. It focuses on voodoo and shit, and just
voodoo. There you go. So I think I would love it. I think I'd love that movie, but yeah, I couldn't rank them all right here. But I know Scream would be like number 6. It'd be like number 6 or number 7. It's still good, but it's not Wes Craven's masterpiece, bro. Like,
and they've made it so shitty mainstream now, man. But it's just like, okay, Scream 6, Scream 7, Scream 17. You know what I mean? It's like, shut the fuck. Stop doing this.
It's cool. It's cool. I hate that we're 20. I just say I hate that we're older, and we get to have the privilege of choosing whether or not we like something, whereas for the young people, Scream 6, Scream 7. This is going to be the first time they even hear about Scream or see a Scream movie. This will be an early horror movie theater experience for them. And it's not, and we know that it's not that fucking good. We know that it's actually not good in the way that it's going to make them look away from whenever we get back to good slashers. But hopefully it like influences people to like shit more. But I don't know. I always look at the shit as like we're all influencing people if we make media, and it's like, dog, we got to be more careful with these horror movies because niggas are starting to think that we suck. Like, there are good movies out there, bro. Horror is not dead. There are good things, but shit, we gotta fucking start voicing. We gotta start being honest with how these fucking newer movies are. Like
Laid to Rest. That's a cool fucking slasher film. Laid to Rest is. And
Laid to Rest is amazing, and I fucking was one of the people that didn't see it when it came out. I slept on it because I thought it was going to be bad, but that's just goes to show, like, if you have an ear only to the mainstream, like the shit in theaters, bro, you're gonna miss out on like Laid to Rest when that comes around. Like, yeah, dude,
Evil Dead Rise is gonna be rough. Evil Dead Rise is gonna be badass, man. I just got this feeling. Hopefully, if it can stack up to the remake back in 2013, it'll be kicking ass, man. Because a lot of people's going to see it, and they're raving about it.
Can I say the thing? Can I say the thing about Evil Dead Rise? It's not a spoiler, but they said it's supposed to be. Somebody said they compared it as if Evil Dead 2 and Evil Dead Remake were mixed together, so that they said that they delivered on the gore and they delivered on some actual good little humor parts. So
it's not cheesy.
Not super cheesy.
Okay.
So, but it's supposed to be like Evil Dead Remake gore, and that's one of my fucking favorites, bro. Love that movie because they went hard and they had fun. You can see it, bro. So if they had fun with this one, I'll be happy.
This looks good, and everybody's raving about it. You know, I mean, people that I would, people that I trust, people that I trust their opinion are saying, "Damn." So, I mean, not just your average Joe, but people that are into horror like we are and respect it like we do are going, "Damn, it's about." Hopefully,
for real. Like I was so pleasantly surprised to see like positive. Like you can tell when something's written. When it's like genuinely positive. Like they meant that shit. They're not just saying it. They actually experienced something, and that's such a good feeling. Because, like, bro, I don't know what I would do if I lived to see a bad Evil Dead movie. Like, what a shitty time to live in. If Evil Dead kicks the bucket, there's not a lot of hope, bro. But I'm just that's like
right.
we haven't seen what they're going to do to Friday the 13th. We don't know what they're going to do to Nightmare on Elm Street officially, right? So it's like we saw Scream, we saw Halloween, we saw Candyman, we saw whatever. And it's like, Exorcist is coming. We don't know what's going to happen, dude.
Because it's the same fuckers that fucked Halloween. It's like, no, just please leave it alone. I hope they get
that just happened. Like, I just learned that the same dude who did the Halloween trilogy is doing Exorcist. It's like, and Linda Blair's coming back. She's like, well, let me tell you how much I fucking hate this movie. That's like a nightmare. That's like, if she pulls a Jamie Lee Curtis on us, that would be a nightmare. But like, could you imagine if like Linda Blair was just like waiting for somebody to remake it and give her like a little creative freedom just so she can be like, and then the fucking Zuzu, we show him like he comes out of a portal and, she just makes it bad on purpose. God. Nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Oh, it's a scary thought. Like I try to pretend like they're not doing The Exorcist, but the fact is, reality, they are.
They totally are, dude. They're gonna do it.
But more on the positive side, I have to agree. It's my favorite Wes Craven film too, man. Last House is, and I give it that 5 stars too. See, I knew you liked it this much. See, you weren't even sure that you did, but I knew you did.
Oh no, I could talk about Last House all day. I just had to watch it. I just like had to watch it. Yeah. I always, with all these movies, like I can explain, I can talk about it, yeah. But when you just watch the movie and then you go talk about it when it's fresh and you like remember all those subtle nuances Wes Craven was just putting in there, like ain't nothing like it, man. Ain't
I'll be
nothing
looking
like
forward to that review, man. I'll definitely be looking forward to that.
hell yeah. I don't know when it'll happen. Hopefully this summer. Like I think I could do it after I do Palindromes and Happiness and Birth of a Nation. We'll do it maybe in like late July, early August would be a perfect time for Glass House.
Cool.
So
I'll definitely be looking forward to it.
hell yeah. Thank you.
And I definitely appreciate you stopping by and talking with me about it and everything, man. This is a new thing I'm doing. I'm doing my top 20 favorite horror films of all time, not in any order, but just all 20 of them. And this is number 2. And this was the one that I thought about first. Then I got the interview with Exorcist Reviews, and then he talked about it. He's like a huge Exorcist fan.
Oh yeah, dude. I was like, holy shit, he's one of those where he could talk to you about that shit forever, dude. He knows every nook and cranny about Exorcist.
I think it's the least I've ever talked in a stream or anything. Dude. Like I couldn't even get a word in. Like he was all about Exorcist. I was like, "You go, dude."
Oh yeah, yeah. It could
go show now.
Yeah, but, when it's like that, man, it's like that. So you can't knock him, I guess.
But guys, this is King Gore. This is Corey, man. He's a really cool dude. I consider you a young man. You're a young man to me.
But, yeah, I'm a young man. I'm starting to realize I had an encounter with an older person in an elevator the other day. An older person, and I was like, can't wait till I'm your age. And she was like, no, you fucking don't. And I was like,
no.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, bro. I'm a couple years shy of 30, so I need to like shut the fuck up. Honestly, I have nothing to complain about. Yeah. I need to shut the fuck up about my stupid ass problems, dude. We're gonna be all right.
I don't even want to hear it, man. I was your age, 22 years ago? So I don't even want to hear that shit. I'd give anything to be 28 years old.
Yeah,
fantastic.
So,
but yeah,
do my best.
I much appreciate it, man. Much love to you. And yeah, I'll be looking back for you. Everybody go to and sub to King Gore. Awesome channel, awesome content, awesome guy.
Sub to GoreAphobe, y'all. Sub to GoreAphobe. It's a good time.
Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
I'll be talking to you, man.
Absolutely.
Later.
Peace.